everyone, this is Crian, the host of the Inside Crypto podcast. Welcome to a very new segment and a very interesting segment where we cover the latest current news in a very short format. So we have lots of stories to talk about today. Well, actually not that many, 3 stories to talk about today. And let's jump straight into it. The very first story is about FTX, and that has been all in the news the last week, 2 weeks or so. Of course, because FTX has filed for bankruptcy, FTX has made a lot of mistakes that nobody knew about. FTX was doing things that many people didn't know about. So this story is from CoinDesk, right? It's about Sam Bankman-Fried apologizing to FTX employees internally with a letter. And this letter was shared on their Slack internally, but somebody, of course, leaked it to the press. And so that is why we get to know about it. But basically, he apologizes for the amount of leverage that they were doing, right? And if you don't know what the story is about, it's basically FTX was the leverage, right? They were borrowing against their FTT tokens. And Sam Bankman-Fried in this article mentions that, that a lot of other places have also mentioned that FTX had like $60 billion in assets earlier this year. But, as everyone knows, the crypto markets has gone down a lot very quickly. And so he was operating under the assumption that I have X amount of assets, and he actually, at the end of the day, he didn't have that amount of assets, which is why he got into trouble. So this letter explains, what he apologizes to, what he says about it, and how he's really, really sorry. There's a lot of conflicting data about it. I would definitely look into it. Don't forget to check out the research about this issue on the 21 Shares website. That, basically some people say that this is just a facade. He's just acting out of this as a PR stunt so that when he comes back into the game, he can say, yes, I apologize for this. This was a mistake. So, yep, just do your own research and decide what you think about this issue, right? All right, let's move on to our second story, which is about the Metaverse. So the Metaverse is a meta thing and, of course, the Facebook thing, but it's not only that. There's the Sandbox, there's Decentraland, there's a whole bunch of places. I was in an interview today with Å𝕗 𝕉𝕬 from AAG Ventures, and he's doing a bunch of Metaverse stuff, but he gave a really interesting statistic, which as of November, right, 2022, there are 20,000 Metaverses at the moment. And this is an article from Think Big, and they mentioned that the Metaverse is inevitable, regardless of what happens to Meta. So we know Meta's been doing terribly. They fired a bunch of employees, they've lost a bunch of money, their stock has come down a ton. And that is telling people, besides Wall Street telling Meta, it's telling people that Wall Street doesn't believe in the Metaverse. People don't believe in the Metaverse. So I think that's just one side of the story. Another side of the story is that, VR, AR headsets, they are making money, they are doing well to a certain very small niche and percentage of people. But at the end of the day, right, it's like I got into, VR when I had a Samsung S6, which is many, many generations ago. You slotted into your little Samsung Galaxy Gear and you got to have a VR experience. And it was great. It was fun. I remember playing the original Temple Run and getting super sick. But at the end of the day, there's nothing in VR or AR that's compelling, that's forcing people to say, I want to spend my time in the Metaverse. I want to get home from work, plug in my headset and do this stuff. But that's just one version of the Metaverse as well. So let me know what you think about the Metaverse. And let's move on to our last story, which is about Magic Eden. So Magic Eden, you should probably know because our researcher Tom talks about them all the time on Solana NFTs. They are the biggest Solana NFT marketplace in the world. They are now coming to Polygon, and they're going to bring that awesome UX and interface. Yes, I know I'm pretty biased towards Magic Eden. I prefer them to OpenSea, but they're bringing Polygon NFTs to their site, which is awesome because I don't like OpenSea. OpenSea seems too confusing at times. Magic Eden keeps things simple. So I can imagine this is great for Polygon, great for Magic Eden as well. There are so many Polygon NFTs available. There's a lot of Polygon GameFi projects available. So if you're a Magic Eden fan, if you're a Solana fan, this is something definitely for you to keep a watch out. Maybe you've never purchased an NFT. I would highly suggest do your research, check out Magic Eden, and let me know. All right, guys, we're at the 5-minute mark, so this is great. Tell me what you thought about today's stories. What do you think about FTX? What do you think about Magic Eden? What do you think about the Metaverse? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're looking on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, do the same as well. Keep an eye out for this. We'll be doing this segment, I hope, at least once a month, and then we will talk to you guys later.